guys, and warm welcome back to the channel. My name is Grace if you're new here, and this is the Rusty Thicket. We're actually in my kitchen today because this week we are taking some time off to hopefully plan a legit vacation in the future, but also just get some housework done and stuff like that. But I could not resist to make a video because I have great news. The title card may have kind of given it away, but if not, give me just 1 second to say hello and thank you to everybody that has newly subscribed. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. I'm just having a really good time doing YouTube. I never really expected that for myself. I'm a little self-conscious and I don't typically consider myself, you know, camera worthy, I guess, but I've had a lot of fun. It's enjoyable, especially when you all are commenting and asking questions, and I really just like building the community, which is the entire reason I started YouTube to begin with. I really just want to have like-minded folks who obviously enjoy my art, but just art in general, just to kind of come together and have that space that we can, you know, chit chat and stuff. And I have definitely found that in this channel so far. But like the title card said, I just want to talk about how we are finally monetized and why it took me 2.5 years to get here. Well, about 2 years and 4 months technically, because I started this in February of 22, and I just got monetized this past Sunday, I believe, is when I got the official email and everything switched in my YouTube account. We are sitting at 1,500 and some, I can't remember the last number, 32 I think, or something like that, I can't remember, as far as subscribers go. So make sure you guys are liking and commenting and all of that great fun stuff, but especially subscribing. We are trying to get to 2,000 as quickly as possible because why not? I think it's gonna be fun. But on that note, I just wanted to sort of chit chat a little bit about why it has taken me this long to get monetized. Obviously there are some really good reasons and there are some obvious, I need to work on reasons, and we're gonna get into all of those. But I'm also gonna splice in some cute little footage of me painting my very own YouTube subscriber button thing because they don't make buttons for if you get monetized. It's just for 100,000 plus now, I think, which I did find out. Apparently they used to have smaller ones, like graphite and bronze or something like that, which would have been cool, but you know, it's whatever. I get to paint my own and nobody can stop me. So I'm just gonna splice that footage in throughout this video, but I think it would be good to kind of start with my reasonings as to why it took me this long to get here. Of course, everybody wants to be an overnight sensation. You know, you want to be monetized. That is why you started YouTube, which I will be honest, sure, I definitely would love that, would have loved that, do love that. But for me, the biggest part was community. I didn't have anybody around me doing these kinds of things until, you know, really, really recently, literally here. And starting YouTube kind of helped me be able to talk things through and just, you know, there's something about, it's almost like journaling. And if you guys are into journaling, you kind of understand that, you know, getting things just out and talking about stuff and doing projects like you're presenting them, just overall, it makes things feel more satisfying or full, I guess. I don't really know how to explain that, but it's been a help for me considerably, just, you know, to feel like I'm really going through with things and doing it and putting in effort and that kind of stuff. But it comes down really to me for the whole amount of time thing. I didn't know when I would be monetized, obviously, but I told myself I had 4 years, which is the amount of time that we were here in Okinawa, Japan. We are getting out of the military after this enlistment and after this location, and I figured this would be the time to start my channel because I had the time. I had most of the equipment, had very little that I needed to get started. it was easy. You turn on a camera, you record what you're already doing, and it just made sense. I also am not really great at short form media, which is something I plan on working on in these next couple of years, especially now that the channel is monetized, and it's just something I am hoping that can kind of, you know, funnel into everything and I can learn to make better short form stuff. But it just I didn't expect things to be done this soon, if I'm honest. Between, I think 18 and 24 months is average for a YouTube channel to be monetized. I do believe that YouTube really just likes to see perseverance, you know, to keep doing something, even if you're not an overnight success, and even if you are, like, they want you to continually be adding to the platform. That is part of it. But obviously creating content people are engaging with is like the biggest part of it, because that is what gets your video higher into the algorithm and all that. And we can talk about algorithm all day. Well, actually I can't, because I don't get it, if I'm honest. And I can't sit and watch hours of algorithm videos on YouTube about it, because it's awful. It's boring, and I just wanted things to be organic and simple, and you know, I could spend a lot more time and energy and effort into that aspect of it. Or now that I have, you know, a real true reason, I guess, I can really start putting more time and energy into my editing, which I know needs help, and just the content in general I feel like is a little stiff sometimes, and I would like to figure out how to make that better. Those are things that I know for sure I need to work on and that I would just like to work on. I have a lot of people that I look up to that are already doing a lot of what I'm doing, and so many of their camera angles and their space and everything is so much different from what I'm capable of doing right now. And I knew that going into it, because I'm in a very small area. It's very rare that I pull out into the whole living space, because this takes up, you know, daily life, I don't know, energy, and breaking everything down and pulling everything back out. I just knew that, you know, if I had more space, it would probably be a little bit better, and it was something I planned on being able to do once we move from here. But because I can't do a whole lot of that right this minute, I just assumed it would take a long time for the channel to get there, because I never truly felt like I was putting in the exact videos that I wanted. Now, of course, I'm filming everything that I'm already doing, and I'm having a really good time doing that, but I just didn't want to expect things to happen overnight, because that's a thing I feel like we, just in general as people, you know, you expect things to just instant gratification, and I wanted something I was going to kind of plug along at and learn as I go. I had never edited a video before YouTube, except for, you know, like a couple little random things for my personal Instagram. You know, even through school and stuff, you use, I mean, really in college, I didn't do anything like that. I did a video in high school, and I don't even think I was the person that actually edited it. So, you know, there's just like, I'm almost 35, and I don't take to it like a fish to water a lot. I get a little irritated with technology, and I always have, so I just didn't expect things to be quick. I was hoping for a short time there, kind of like, why isn't it going anywhere? Get some traction, you know, and I did have a couple of great videos that have really helped me with that. One that I plan on revisiting kind of in about a year's time, and that is my travel watercolor setup. I have made some significant changes to it that I think everybody will really appreciate an update on. And you know, there are videos that I would love to recreate to try and throw back into the algorithm again that just I can't, because I feel like I've done them. You know, you don't want to repeat a lot of your own stuff, and you know, just trying to find my routine, my style, all of that kind of stuff. I knew it would take a long amount of time, not just for me, but obviously for YouTube to get it to the right kinds of people too. Another thing that I really feel like has hurt and helped the channel is I was always told at the beginning when I was, doing research and talking to the few people I knew that had tried YouTube, was to really niche down. I almost feel like maybe I niched down a little too hard, like I was a little too serious about it. 𝍊🍼🍆 is the overarching concept of this channel, because I don't just do watercolors, I don't just paint, I don't just do art. I like being out in nature. I like finding the weird bugs and all the moss and the stuff in the cracks of fences, and I like that sort of thing. That's my aesthetic in general, and I just wanted to make sure I was focusing the channel on that overall as a whole, so I didn't pigeonhole myself into specific content, but I had like a theme for it so that I also wasn't getting too far away from things. I got really lucky. Japan has lots of snails and bugs and beetles and things like that, so I don't know what I'm gonna do when we do move to Minneapolis, because we haven't lived in a place where it has snowed in the last 10 years essentially. So I'm really excited about that, but I'm also not sure what that transition will look like. And I was just hoping to have a good solid basis of people to move with me to that new adventure and help me figure that out as well. But I do have an overall idea of the content I'm hoping to be making in the future. It's just that where I make one-off items for a lot of my events here, it just isn't possible to do all of the really long form stuff that I would love to do, because I cannot wrap my head around how to schedule all of that out and have 25 paintings plus ready for the next event that's 2 weeks from my last event. It's just a lot of physical work, and when I can finally have things manufactured when I get back in the States, when I design something and then 100 of those things show up, not 100 things that I have to physically cut, will be nice, because that will free up a lot of my time. So I know that that's going to change a lot in the future as well. A few other things that I kind of feel like are part of it, because obviously I would love to do better on editing and things like that, but just the content in general, I feel like, not everybody is looking for paintings on birds and bugs and leaves and things, and that's okay. I don't mind. It doesn't have to be, honestly, it doesn't even have to be 100,000 subscriber channel. I want the people who want to be here and not anything more than that. So monetized or not, making a whole bunch of money or not, I just, I wanted the community mostly. And it's great that I've stuck with something, because I'll be honest, it's not something I'm great at. Like, I'm good at, keeping a job and maintaining big picture type things, but I never really looked at YouTube as big picture. It's just another part of what I'm doing, and I was kind of always worried in the beginning that I would just stop, and it has become so much of my routine and something I actually look forward to, most of the time, that it's been kind of easy to do and to show up for, and that makes me feel really good, because I just never really was good at that in the past. I think another reason that it's taken me this long is that there is quite a bit of competition now. YouTube, when it first started out, you didn't see very many artists on the platform, and now you definitely do, which I love to see. I would never ever want to not have that competition, because they are exactly the reason I even am doing this to begin with. But a lot of them have gone to school for different aspects of this than I ever did. When I was in art school, we didn't learn how to, even really market ourselves. They were like, you need to go find a job with a graphic design company. That's how you did it. That's why you were in school. And it's just completely different now. So seeing all the 20 and young 30s just really understanding it and grasping it and having tons of success for it just makes me feel like, obviously, if they can do it, so can I. It's just that I'm a little bit behind on things. We talked a little bit about production, like, you know, I just want the videos to be better. I've got great equipment. I just need to figure it out in my brain how to tell the story a little bit better. So if you guys have any suggestions or anything that you really think would be interesting for the channel, I am still dabbling in a little bit of everything until I either can't or I'm ready to really open up on those long-term projects, which may be at the very earliest, I'm thinking the first of next year, because this is the last year I'll be doing, sorry, the dog's drinking. This is the last year I'll be doing physical items, like actually making them here. Whatever I have residually left over for next year, I can still take to events, but I won't be making anything because I don't want to order things because we're going to be moving. So it just doesn't make sense. But that doesn't mean that I couldn't paint things and have them scanned in and ready to go, and we can still be working on, you know, filming those sorts of things for when we're getting ready for moving back to the States. I have a little list here that I've been going through. I do feel like consistency has helped me a lot. I stay regular even before I went down to once a week. I was doing twice a week, and I did that for a very long time. And I do feel like in the beginning that helped me a lot because I was editing twice a week, and that helped me learn everything. But even now, I post all of my, for me, it's Thursday evening. For the States, it's Fridays. And I think I'll probably even stick to that when I do get back. I'll probably have everything made by Thursday and post it on Friday because that works really well for me. But consistency is important. I know one of my favorite YouTubers drop a new video, you know, a lot of them aren't every week, but a lot of them are regular in their own ways, and that is just not only something to look forward to, but obviously it keeps me on a schedule as well. So the other thing is content strategy. I don't know what I'm doing with that still. That's something I've been figuring out as I go. I would love to plan it out, but honestly, everything is so by the seat of my pants right now. It's difficult to do that. Again, that's, you know, something I'm hoping to nail down before I get back to the States, because I am aware how important that is, since, you know, content planning on my part obviously is going to show up in the videos, but even more importantly, it's going to look like it's been well thought of. And I can tell you right now that there are definitely weeks, like at a time, multiple weeks at a time, that I just am like, okay, we'll just do this video because that's what we can do today, or that's what we can do this week. And I don't typically film a whole bunch in a row. I usually do like 1 or 2 days or one project at a time because that's just what I can handle right now. And I would like for that to change as well, especially when we start to get into those longer projects that, you know, I work small, so it works well for the channel, but there are bigger pieces I would like to do to offer later on as prints and things like that, that just, I can't sit down in one day to do like I can my other stuff. So, but yeah, it's just a whole bunch of stuff, you know. 2.5 years I feel like isn't too much time, but at the same time, you know, if that's really all you're trying to do and to get monetized, you should be able to cut that in half easily. Lots of people have even gotten it in like, you know, 8 or 9 months, and I just truly can't imagine the amount of work you'd have to put in for that. And, you know, certain content, like I was saying before, is just going to do better because, you know, it just does. It's the same with, you know, TikTok and all that short form social media. Typically, you know, you're funnier, you're more entertaining, your more controversial stuff is going to grow faster because that's just the nature of the beast. And YouTube's no different. Not really. You know, there are channels that I feel like they grow really, really fast specifically because of the subject matter, but then there are obviously ones that it depends on, you know, who's hosting it and how is it being filmed and all of those things really come together. And as somebody who's just trying to figure it out, I'm really happy with it taking as long as it did because I wasn't expecting that. So this is just going to be kind of a short video. I think all of those reasons are exactly why it took me this long and why I'm surprised it honestly didn't take me any longer. I would love to know how you guys feel in the comment section down below. So if you guys would do that for me, that would be awesome. I would also love to know if you think there are any things, if you've watched multiple videos, especially if there are super important glaring things that you would want to change or want me to change in the videos, because I am making a list and checking it twice before I start making a few tweaks here and there slowly, because that's how I have to do things to learn them. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next week. Bye guys.